Well, good morning, my Galilee family and friends. This is Paula once again coming to you after a long week, and hopefully it's been a good one. It's always something to be grateful for, right? Just being here, that's enough. So today I want to talk about it's okay not to be okay. There's been a lot of things going on, and we've had some, tragic things in our church recently. We've had two deaths, one younger, one older. Doesn't matter the age; it's a death. And I just been around people and talking to different people, and it seems like as Christians, we don't think we shouldn't be that way because we have faith and of course we know where they're going, we know where they are, but I don't think that matters. And then it's even just like there's a lot of troubling things going on, whether it be death, financial loss, loss of a job, a child not doing what they should, or maybe even just going astray. There's so many things in our lives that happen that sometimes we just don't feel okay. And that's okay. And I was one of my favorites. I looked this up, and of course, when you're working with a couple appliance appliances, I'll call them. That's not it. Electronics. Um, I love this. 2 Corinthians 4:8 through 9. We are afflicted in every way, but not crushed, perplexed, but not driven to despair, persecuted, but not destroyed. Interpretation. This is a beautiful representation of the resilience we are afforded through our faith in Him. And I thought that's wonderful, especially we are afflicted but not crushed, perplexed but not driven to despair, persecuted but not forsaken, struck down but not destroyed. To me, that is definitely the definition of Christian faith. It didn't say that we're all happy and laughing and all of that. It just says what we know. And so, and also there was another thing I was looking. It said, okay, God doesn't. Well, we know He doesn't change our circumstances, but He's with us, as in Hebrews 13:5. God has said, "Never will I leave you. Never will I forsake you." He changes our focus. And I think we have to remember that. So even though we're going through something, and it seems not good at all, but then if we just think, but I know He's with us, because He said, "Never will I leave you, never will I forsake you." And even through sufferings, of course, Jesus did the ultimate suffering. But I think there is time we're meant to suffer. Our other people's sufferings can affect us sometimes in a good way, and ours can affect other people. And here's what I mean as an example, at a convention that I went to, the senior pastoral counselor gave a heartfelt talk. I'll just abbreviate it, but he let us know his sister had committed suicide. His family was devastated. I mean, just totally distraught. And he was, all kinds of emotions for years. Forward, he became a pastor. And he was called one night, a young woman was going to kill herself, and literally a knife at her throat. He was able to take what had happened to him and explain to her what her taking her life would do to her family and loved ones. So, did God, I don't know, but I just know that He may not, and He did save her life, by the way. She did not do anything. I don't know how it all came about, but He's in contact with her. She's married and has 2 or 3 children. So it was a good ending. But if he hadn't have gone through that, he may not have been able to help her because he hadn't gone through anything like that. So that's just something to think about when I hear things like that. It just does make me think, well, there's a reason. I do think there's a reason for everything. And we may not realize it at the time, but in time we come around. And then I think there was it was another 2 Corinthians 9, 12, chapter 12, 9. But he said to me, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore, I will boast all the more gladly about my weaknesses, so that Christ's power may rest on me. And I just think if you read these things and really focus and read what the words say, and I know for me personally, every time I go back, it could be the same thing, but I get something different out of it. I just think as we grow in the Lord, I think we just get a better understanding, and things just sort of have a different meaning, and they just jump out at us. And that's what we're supposed to be doing in our journey, and we continue to grow. And then, I don't mean to be jumping all around, but I went to a Christian growth workshop at St. Paul's in Glen Burnie on Saturday through LWML. And it was all about women's heart health. And we did have a female cardiologist there. It was so interesting. But before that, Cindy Barlock talked about our spiritual health and our spiritual heart. And it was a wonderful, she did a marvelous job. I could have sat there and listened to her all day. But she was saying too how we just get caught up and everything that's going on in this world, and it upsets us, and we just go that thinking all the time, and you just feel like totally out of sorts. And she came up with something that helps her, and I just wanted to share it because I've printed it out. It's called, her acronym is ACTION. A, admit to God how you feel and what you're experiencing. C is confession. Well, to me, that's you're confessing to him. And I'm thinking, that is so true. He's our Father. You just go to him and say, this is what's going on. I'm not okay. I don't feel okay. Things are going on. And then, of course, after that, the T is for Thanksgiving, because we know we always need to follow up with Thanksgiving. Actually, this is what the first thing we should be doing in the morning, because it doesn't matter how bad things are. We're here. We're here. I is for investigate what God's words say, similar to what I looked up in the Bible and different things. And you can literally Google, what does the Bible say about not being okay? Or what does the Bible say about despair? Anything. There's so much for us at our hands. This is a biggie. O, obey what you find. So you find it, you read it, and then you've got to obey and go on and listen to what it says. And then N, keep nurturing this truth and verse. And that's what I was talking about, nurturing, because it does change as we go along and go back and forth. And I think that's what we're supposed to do, because then we know we're growing in faith. So with that, I think I've talked probably a little more than I should. However, I've got a couple more things, because Sunday, very exciting. We're going to have LWML, if you haven't heard yet, is 80 years old this year. And so we're going to have a celebration brunch between services in the fellowship hall. And you may see some purple, and you're going to see some pictures from a long time ago. And then we have trunk or treat coming up for the 29th. We need trunksters. Please decorate your trunk, or like Pastor said, just put a sheet over it, circle some eyes on it. Candy's going to be furnished, so you don't even have to do that. So let's help, Rachel and Mary and the outreach committee with that. And then after November 6th is our first Reformation Oktoberfest. Really looking forward to that. It's going to be a blast, 4 to 7, games, food, everything. and it will be an annual event, I'm sure. So, with that, I'm going to leave, and as always, you know what I'm going to say? You need to look up, especially if you know you're not okay. Then just look up. Till next time, bye.